Now, one of the things that I read when I was checking out your website is that you work with different dimensional aspects of yourself. I saw like 9D, 12D. This is something that we talk about quite a bit in this podcast. And I'd love for you to just help break it down here for the men who might not quite understand yet. Like, what does it mean to have these different aspects of yourself? We talk about 3, 4, 5D here in this earth plane. We might talk about 9 or 12D. Like, what actually is that?
Okay, so to understand that, obviously there needs to be an understanding of the different dimensional densities. And there's soul density, and then there's the actual dimensional density. So what happens is when you start going through your own healing process and you start releasing karmic cycles and clearing and neutralizing timelines, there's something that happens that is called soul fragment retrieval. So I'll give you an example. So this is something that happened with me. I had a lifetime where I was shot dead, and I did the QHHT Dolores Cannon method, and I went back and I saw myself and I sent love and healing I was a man, to myself back then. And as I did that, I was able to neutralize the karmic trauma of the timeline. And by doing that, I was able to recall to me that soul fragment, which had been slightly removed when I had died because of the trauma that I experienced. So having said that, we are whole. It's not that we are not whole because there are soul fragments everywhere. However, when you start doing this type of work, which is called shadow work as well, and you start integrating more aspects of your soul fragments and your multidimensional self, then you start accessing different parts of your multidimensional self. What does that mean? It means you can operate at different dimensions. So what I do, for example, sometimes when I'll go to sleep, I'll get like 15 people messaging me the next day. Oh, you were working on me in the astral. Oh, you were doing this. Oh, you were doing that. Because of the level of soul fragment retrieval that I've done, I've got different aspects and part of me that get sent off that do the healing work, including me and for me as well. So these two beings that I mainly closely work with is a 9th dimensional Palladium being, which is a version of me in a different timeline, and a 12th dimensional Mantis being, which is also a version of me in a different timeline. And these were the first two main ones that I work with and that came through to help and to assist me in this journey and in healing the collective and in doing what it is that I do.